Okay, I'm going to show you this real quick. Um, Always try to use the duplicate layer instead of whatever it is I normally do when you're trying to do something, you know, make the background layer editable and just delete it. That way, like that text cut through effect, you always have a background layer that way. It's locked, but but you always have that in case you decide later you needed it for some reason. Anyway, I'm going to show you something that I learned about masks. You can, go down here and create a layer mask. Okay, and if you select it, I'm still not quite sure what this layer mask is linked to a layer. I'm still not sure because I know you can unlink it and link it. Anyway, if you take and select the layer mask itself, you can see how I clicked on it as opposed to selecting the image. But if you select the layer mask, you can do things like go to your gradient tool, make sure it's in a black and white, because that's what masks are really. They're black and white for the most part. Then I can draw a gradient over here, but because you're actually drawing on the mask. So which is kind of nice. So if you got a background, you're actually drawing on that. But if I bring in an image, I think let's do it this way, like I do in CorelDRAW. Paste the image here, it goes onto its own layer, but I can put that layer behind it somehow, right there. So you can see how the mask bleeds through on it. But go here, choose this image. Oh, damn it. Oh. Huh. I'll transform it here, Control T. Alright. Oh. You gotta press enter. Always enter with that transform tool. At any rate, that, allowed me to do that. Now, one thing I haven't figured out yet is that if you're on, like, a vector image, you can see here, these are actually not layer masks, they're vector masks. So I'm not quite sure what the difference is. I know I've used them in some of the videos, but again, I assume you can draw on them the same way, but see, I can't select the layer versus the mask. So, in other words, every time, so if I select on that, if I hit it, I know that's selected, but okay, you just click it twice, I guess, and that unselects it. But let's see what happens here. I don't know. I'm not even sure what objects are on this layer. I know it's something here in the middle, probably that. But see, I can't, since this is a vector mask, I can't draw on it with non-vector tools. So I'm not really quite sure what that is. I mean, I can draw an object like this, but I mean, it's clearly not a mask, but it's not in black and white either. So, but I can't draw with a brush on it, so I'm not really sure what a vector mask is just yet.
Result, I'm going to cycle through to full images together to create a panorama, or simply a higher resolution file is a
I wanted to show you real quick too that down in the automate, if you wanted to merge three programs or three files together, And by the way, too, if you're opening three files, you can actually open multiple files at once by hitting Control or Shift, just like in Windows. But anyway, there's this cool tool here called Photomerge, which if you pull it up, allows you to merge open photos. So it's good for stitching like panoramic pictures together and so forth. Let's just try it and see what happens. Use files, folder, file. Add open files. Document must be saved before the. Okay. I wonder why I had to save the documents. That shouldn't matter. Oh, maybe it does. I don't know what changes I made here, so I'm just going to save the new files. I'm sure that's going to use up a lot of my precious disk space. Not surprised on this one. I'd save that as this. Okay, so I got those three done. Now, Photomerge. They are saved. Okay. Let's see what happens here. I was kind of confused. Okay. Oh, I didn't know I had that one up. But at any rate, the point is, though, is at any rate, the point is, there's been times I've needed to do that, and you saw that there were some options there and so forth. So it's kind of interesting. I wanted to make you aware of that tool.